Martin Romualdez' district takes over Pulong Duterte's district as the top recipient of funds from the DPWH. Senators Legarda, Marcoleta, Estrada, and De La Rosa stop receiving their salaries amid their absences from plenary sessions and Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. The police files a complaint against the owner of the gun used in the Zamboanga City school shooting. The first official multidimensional poverty index reveals 12.8% of Filipinos were multidimensionally poor in 2024. And a Filipino is among those who are missing in Nepal after catastrophic flash floods. The 1st District of Leyte takes over the 1st District of Davao City as the top recipient of funds from the Department of Public Works and Highways. During the last 3 years of Rodrigo Duterte's presidency, Davao City's 1st District received 51 billion pesos in infrastructure funds, at the time the highest in Philippine history. Pulong Duterte, the then president's son, was then the district representative, receiving the infrastructure funds from 2020 to 2022. But in the first 3 years of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s term, Leyte's 1st District received 57 billion pesos, represented by former House Speaker and presidential cousin Martin Romualdez. This according to budget records obtained by the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism. The DPWH has not made public the allocations per legislative district, but it has provided the data for 2023 to 2025 to legislators. Last September, amid allegations of involvement in the flood control corruption scandal, Romualdez was replaced by Isabela 6th District Representative Faustino Boji D. III as House Speaker. Even then, DPWH documents show Leyte 1st District was still awarded the biggest budget allocation among all other legislative districts in the 2026 budget at around 6 billion pesos. 4 senators stop receiving their salaries as they remain absent from plenary sessions of the Senate and the ongoing impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian says Thursday, August 27, Senator Loren Legarda voluntarily stopped receiving her salary after she went on medical leave on August 3. Other senators who stopped receiving salaries are Rodante Marcoleta and Jinggoy Estrada, who are detained over separate plunder cases, and Senator Bato de la Rosa, who faces an International Criminal Court arrest warrant and remains at large. Despite their detention, the Senate allowed Marcoleta and Estrada to head some Senate committees because their employees' salaries are charged to the committees' budgets. Legarda and her son, Batangas 1st District Representative Leandro Leviste, left the Philippines on August 2, days after plunder and graft complaints were announced by the Office of the Ombudsman over Leviste's solar energy projects. Gatchalian says the senators' unspent salaries may eventually be declared as Senate savings and appropriated for other expenses. The Philippine National Police files a complaint against the owner of the gun used by a high school student in the August 18 school shooting in Zamboanga City. A 10th grader was killed before the perpetrator also shot himself. Another 15-year-old student was injured. Customs Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno earlier confirmed the minor used the handgun of his father. The father was a district commander of the Enforcement and Security Services at the Port of Zamboanga. He has since been relieved from his duty. A police investigation shows the minor took his father's gun bag, which was supposedly left inside the vehicle when he was dropped off in school. The PNP says Wednesday, August 26, this showed gaps in firearm safekeeping and accountability allowed unauthorized access to the firearms used. It adds, investigators found no evidence that the incident was carried out as part of a conspiracy involving any group, organization, or other individuals. The PNP says it also found no established school-related or personal grievance that could sufficiently explain the shooting. PNP Chief Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. meantime reminds gun owners to exercise greater care in securing their weapons. A new and broader official way of measuring poverty shows that 12.8% of Filipinos were multidimensionally poor in 2024. The Philippine Statistics Authority's first official multidimensional poverty index looks beyond how much a family earns. It asks whether Filipinos are poor or deprived across education, health and nutrition, housing and basic services, and employment. Based on preliminary results of the 2024 community-based monitoring system, 12.4% of households were classified as multidimensionally poor. At the individual level, the rate was slightly higher at 12.8%, or roughly 1 in 8 Filipinos. That is higher than the 9.7% official income poverty rate for 2025. It was the record low figure in August that meant around 11 million Filipinos were living below the national poverty threshold. A Filipino is among those who are missing in Nepal after a wall of mud and rock collapsed into a Himalayan river, causing catastrophic flash floods. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro says in a news briefing that the Philippine government has yet to receive information about Filipinos affected by the Nepal disaster. The government is coordinating with authorities and the Filipino community in Nepal. At least 1,500 people, including more than 700 foreigners, are missing across Nepal and China's Tibet on Thursday, August 27. Rescuers in Nepal use helicopters to search for survivors and drop emergency supplies to thousands cut off in towns and valleys. Police say they expect the death toll to rise beyond 165. Almost 500 foreigners are among the 826 people missing in Nepal. Crushing masses of water and debris swept away dozens of people at a border crossing in Girong. Homes, roads, and power projects were washed away as the flows traveled downstream. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the wrap.